We're traveling to 8 cities across Africa to find bold, innovative entrepreneurs tackling real-world challenges head-on. Each city's winner will advance to the finale in Mauritius to compete for investment. Today, our journey brings us to Johannesburg, South Africa, a city that's as dynamic as it is daring, known as the City of Gold. Johannesburg is a melting pot of innovation, resilience, and ambition. At the center of it all is the ALX Ventures City Accelerator, where the city's top minds are shaping the future. This accelerator is more than a launch pad. It's a hub for creating jobs, driving innovation, and building the skills needed for a tech-driven world. With support from dedicated mentors, each founder is refining their vision, preparing for a pitch that could change everything. The stakes are high and the pressure is up. It's make or break as our founders work with their mentors to perfect every word, every idea, and every moment. Welcome to the Do Hard Things Challenge. Let's meet our first startup, Whatsnxt, who are looking to bring a bold new idea to change the way people interact with events.
My name is Bavukile Vilane. Everyone calls me Bavu. I'm the founder at Whatsnxt. I've gone through a few, career bumps. First, I wanted to become a rugby player. I wanted to become a Springbok. Then I wanted to become a pilot because it looked like a cool job. Then I was like, you're away from home all the time. And that kind of led me to my next endeavor, which was, I want to be in the business world. I enjoy tech, but thought, how can I mix business and programming? And I think that's really where entrepreneurship came in, and the idea of becoming a tech entrepreneur.
So ALX Ventures, we work with early stage entrepreneurs, and we kind of get them from idea stage to kind of go to market and pitch ready. It's just a really inspirational space because if you are seeing other people working, it inspires you to be working on your own thing.
Imagine you're in a new city for the first time, trying to find something fun to do on a Friday night. What starts off, or should be, a quick and easy search turns out to be a very frustrating hunt through multiple websites, social media platforms, and apps, only for you to realize later in the day that you missed out on your favorite DJ that was in town. This is the problem with event discovery today. Trying to find an event or an experience happening around you it's time-consuming, it's chaotic, and you often miss out on experiences happening right around you. Something amazing happening down the street is something that you wouldn't really find on these platforms. So I'm not a car guard or a construction worker, but I am a builder, and we're building the future of events. That's why we built Whatsnxt. We want to change the way people experience events. And so we built a platform that helps people create, manage, promote events in a singular platform. And then also from the user's point of view, where you can find and discover those experiences that hosts have put out there for you. Right? So we do everything all these ticketing sites do, but so much more. With Whatsnxt, we have personalized real-time vibes, so you can tap into the atmosphere of an event in real time based on user-generated content. And for the host on the other side, we provide the tools they need to create, promote, manage events, and then just going a step further, allowing them to also basically hire DJs, caterers, anyone they need to make the event happen from within the platform. So the global events industry is projected to reach 2 trillion by 2028, and Africa is one of the fastest growing markets in the end. So I think it's just a perfect time and space for Whatsnxt to come in and capture the market as well. We're currently pre-revenue up until next month. Thereafter, we'll take commission on ticket sales. We'll have in-app purchases, subscription model for things like advanced tools and analytics, and then we'll also do in-app advertising for event promotion. So multiple streams, and then doubling down on which ones actually stick. We launched our MVP to 250 early adopters in the first month, and then we onboarded a few other partnerships. We're looking at launching our full product offering in the next month, taking on 1,000 additional users and 100 more event organizers. So that's what's next for us. Our team has over 30 years worth of combined experience in software engineering, marketing, event management, and design. We're a multinational team, but we came together to solve this problem, not only for the African continent, but for the global audience as well. Whatsnxt is, we're building more than just an event discovery platform. We want to change the way people experience these events as well. And so we're going above and beyond to not only lead the global event tech industry, which is something you don't hear about a lot. You hear about agri-tech, fintech, no one talks about event tech. So we want to lead that on the African continent by changing the way the world engages with events, and then later eventually capturing a global market too. Thank you.
As the judges consider his pitch, we're left to wonder, will this innovation take them to the next level?
Okay, Babu, well, thank you for that. Not easy to do justice to the business you're spending many days, hours, months building in 2 minutes. So we appreciate you coming and just trying to condense that for us. I'm quite uniquely placed to judge this business. Most people don't know I used to be a DJ, an event promoter. I've also tried to build a marketplace business in the past, and it's arguably one of the hardest ventures to get right because you have consumers on both sides. Right, you've got your buyers now, so audience needs to come onto this app, and until audience comes on, your suppliers don't want to come on, and it's the chicken and the egg situation. So maybe, and it's a great point raised earlier around kind of who's the market. Talk to us about how you think you're actually going to win either side of that market. If you had to pick one, which would you pick first, and how do you get them on board, with conviction?
Something that we thought about is we need to capture the universities. All these students are trying to find events, etc. How do we communicate to them? How do we work with the universities to kind of have it some sort of a, I want to say, campus directory where not only campus or campus life events. So to get them on, we'd say, look, UJ can post all their events on the platform for their students. But now that goes beyond UJ because these students also want to find the next party, the next event, etc. So I think that, that generation or age group will be big from the user point of view. So before, I'd love my dad to use it to find an event like a farmer's market, but I think before we get to all those people, the students and the young adults are going to be big and just trying to first communicate the events that they are mostly interested in, and that might just be their university sort of events, and then one day they open the app and go, there's a party, and then there's all these other events we're building on.
Yeah, I mean, focus is a superpower. In the tech startup space. So if it's university students, beautiful, serve the segment. Practically, what does that look like for what next? How do you go to market essentially?
Yeah, so I'm just going to give you an example of a potential. So I'm affiliated with ALU, so African Leadership Group, which is part of the same ecosystem. So they've got both in-person and virtual events, and they currently communicate to students via email. But they don't having a good time with it. A lot of students miss out on it. I don't check my university emails, so there's no way to communicate to them. And I figured if we solve for ALU alone, since I'm directly in communication with them, then we can kind of come here and go, UJ and all the other universities as well, how do you currently communicate your campus life events, and how can we translate that into giving the organization value to be able to kind of get the students to come to these events, and then opening it up to all the rest as well.
Next up is Kovo with a groundbreaking new idea to combine AI and influencer marketing. Will it be enough to wow the judges?
My name is Boitumelo Moeca. I am the founder and managing director of Kovo. I am born and raised in Bloemfontein from a wonderful family of 4, raised by a single mother as well as my grandmother. After high school, I had the ambition of pursuing a creative career. I discovered my talent in digital marketing, in graphic design, and that's where I started freelancing. I turned my freelancing into an agency called Marketed, where we do social media management, and we are currently branching into CGI and experiential marketing, so it's really grown as a journey. And my hobby is that I am currently learning how to speak Korean, so I'm learning a language.
We by nature are an innovative, highly ingenious country. We solve problems, we've got immense grit and entrepreneurial spirit. The tech space is interesting because it speaks about trying to solve big problems in the world using technology and creating commercial value. South Africans are typically some of the best at that.
After years of managing influencer campaigns at my creative agency, I noticed a significant gap. And that is, brands expanding globally struggle to connect with local influencers, and influencers themselves struggle to find global brands. And campaign management is scattered across multiple platforms, and analytics and reporting can be very vague, which can cause a lot of loss of money. That's why I created Kovo, an AI-powered all-in-one influencer campaign management platform made and designed to simplify these connections. What does AI mean? We use machine learning to connect brands and influencers based on data, campaign objectives, as well as budget. Kovo is similar to Creobase and Humans, our competitors, but what makes Kovo unique is our global focus, as well as the fact that we vet our influencers and brands, and we also focus on brand alignment and ROI. So basically how it works is that content approvals, a campaign builder, payments, contracts, all done within one platform, which is very important because that's exactly what brands have told us that they're looking for, particularly with in-app communication between the two parties. Influencer marketing is a booming industry in South Africa, in the world, where annual spending is $21.1 billion US, and it is also expected to grow in South Africa by 11%, reaching $75 million US by 2027. And we aim to enter this market at 21.1 million, the serviceable obtainable market, which is just 10% of the serviceable available market. Our business model is pretty straightforward. We charge subscription fees for brands at $150 a month to access the entire platform, and then influencers pay $11 a month, and it's tiered. That is just the base amount that they would pay, and we also charge 8% commission on all successful campaigns conducted through Kovo. Our target is to onboard 500 brands and 5,000 influencers within the first year and generate $660,000 in revenue. And to achieve all of these goals, we're raising $150,000 US, which will also enable us to do AI and, refine our approach. These are the milestones that we have achieved. We've got a brand waitlist of 20 brands, including Food Lovers Market, Loot.co.za, as well as Urban Zulu. And our influencer waitlist has 400 registrations of influencers waiting. And then we also have our web application that is ready. Our MVP is fully functional. This was an idea just 4 months ago, and this is how much progress we've made. Can you imagine what the next 4 months looks like for us? You don't have to imagine. Come along with us and let us revolutionize how brands and influencers connect globally. Thank you.
Will her vision stand out amongst the competition? The judges will have a tough call to make.
Good job, Boitumelo.
So much.
Very clear.
We're focusing more on your influencers. How do you bring on the brands, the big brands? On the international front, with the big brands, it could be a saturated market, what we call a red ocean, okay? I see this more as a fashion thing. So food lovers don't, in my mind, doesn't seem to fit into this, bringing them. So I think maybe we need to shift the focus and start targeting maybe your Edgar's, that type of retail or that type of brand, or even the niche markets, specifically dealing with that. I'm not sure that Food Lovers is the right model to use to build into your model. You obviously saw that differently, so.
Absolutely. It's actually quite interesting that you would say that, because as an industry, influencer marketing is very diverse. ALX itself is running like an influencer campaign. As mentioned at the beginning of my pitch, I've got a creative agency that does influencer campaigns. Influencers are looking for work. It's easier to get them. There's different segments in influencers. There's nano, micro, and macro. But then when it comes to the brands, the reason why these are the brands that we actually have on our waitlist is through my network of the brands that I've signed under my creative agency. So one of our clients, actually, Borroka Farmhouse, is selling, through Food Lovers Market. So I was able to get an in-person meeting because of that. But right now, as a small and developing startup, that's who I'm able to actually talk to. I would love to speak to Edgar's. We have been sending emails. We have been making contact. The most impactful way to make connections with brands and is to speak to them and show them the platform and how it works and what it can do for them, and hear from them what it can solve some of their problems.
And I think that will make a nice reference point, that I have somebody. It's a big organization. It's not my shop on the corner cafe or a spaza shop. This is an actual brand that we're dealing with. Thank you.
Last but not least, we have Sync Discovery, a music industry veteran, looking to leverage AI in the music distribution process.
My name is Nkosiphambili Molapisi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Sync Discovery. I grew up in a family of music. I remember my late brother, when he, built his own recording studio and taught himself how to produce, seeing him move from that, to traveling the world, winning awards was, what really sparked the fire in me. After college, I started a PR agency specializing in artist development and brand management, seeing the impact of radio and how difficult it was for us to really crack it, and thousands of other artists and their teams, is why we really built Sync Discovery.
We really do care about everyone in our community. We want our guys to go further, and the positive energy promotes you getting going in your own work too.
$2.7 billion. That's how much radio airplay contributed to some of your favorite artists last year. And we are looking to create more success stories like these ones. My name is Nkosiphambili Molapisi, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Sync Discovery. In 2023, 45 million songs received 0 plays on streaming platforms, accounting for 24.8% of the entire music catalog on these platforms, highlighting the problem of discoverability for artists, which is a problem radio can solve. But over 70% of artists in Africa cannot access radio due to fragmented infrastructure, lack of resources, and corruption. That cost the music industry in Africa $3 billion lost in revenue from radio airplay and other sources. These are some of the problems we are solving at Sync Discovery. Sync Discovery is an AI-powered platform that enables artists to distribute their music to over 25,000 radio stations globally, track airplay, and collect their royalties in real time. Approximately the 70% population in Africa listens to radio weekly, 80% in Europe, and 83% in the US. That is the audience we are helping these artists to reach and monetize in real time. There's 300 million artists globally, releasing over 120,000 songs every single day. More than 70% of that music never makes it to radio. That gives us a serviceable, obtainable market of $630 million. And this number is expected to double in the next 2 years due to generative AI. We have 5 direct competitors in the space of airplay monitoring. What sets us apart is our proprietary technology to monetize music and actually get this music played on radio. And what makes our business model defensible is our product roadmap and our domain expertise. I'm a repeat founder, and I have over 10 years of experience working with multi-award-winning artists. We have a subscription-based business model for artists starting from $12 per month, depending on how many songs they want to distribute, track, and monetize. We are also targeting agencies, distributors, record labels, publishers as enterprise clients. We'll be adding radio stations into the mix with comprehensive features that will help them optimize their operations and also monetize them. We are currently in private beta in South Africa with over 10,000 users on our waitlist and 4 enterprise clients. And this is just the beginning. This is what we are working towards. It's based on our basic plan of $12 per month, 9% monthly traffic increase, 10% conversion rate, and 6% churn rate. We are currently raising $100,000 in pre-seed to reach our next milestone. Join us in our exciting mission to turn bedroom studio artists into successful global superstars. Thank you.
So were judges impressed by Sync Discovery's idea? Only time will tell.
As I understand it, it would be a platform that would be able to then distribute music, which would then be utilized by radio stations, right? And so does that presuppose digitization? Like, does it have to be digital radio? Is there a digital element? So for example, how do you then deal with FM radio? So is that FM radio, you need to have logs and you need to manually capture what FM radio stations play. And so how do you deal with that?
So we have a acoustic fingerprint technology comprised of over 80 million songs globally that are available digitally, right? So now when someone is coming onto the platform to submit music, it goes to the relevant radio stations. It could be online radio stations, could be analog, as long as it's a radio station that supports music and that specific genre and meets those merits that are comprised in our technology, the song is made available there. I don't know if I answered you correctly.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Each of these founders have showcased resilience, creativity, and ambition, and the judges are paying close attention. They now have the task of deliberating on today's winner.
The biggest challenge for me is the scalability with the other two. And sustainability, chose difficult markets to get in and to grow quickly.
My heart is literally in my throat right now. Just watching these judges deliberate is killing me right now. All three are just so close to my heart and I want all of them to succeed, so this is killing me inside.
I'm grappling between the very obvious market in the event space, which then makes it hyper competitive to break into, almost impossible to break into, if we're honest. So an events platform is actually not a competitive enough advantage.
At the very least, in this instance, unlike the others, the customers that you're seeking to onboard, they are people with skin in the game. They are people that have invested in their enterprises. You are hitching yourself into something that's already working.
This is it, the moment South Africa has been waiting for. Who will be selected to represent in the final stage in Mauritius?
After careful deliberation, and I think it's also acknowledging that 2 minutes is such a difficult time period to deliver a message like this, and that as a consequence was very close between the three. We made our decision on the basis of which enterprise had the clearest path towards an existing market so that it could have auditable revenues. To that extent, I'm happy to announce who the winner was. And the winner is Whatsnxt, Bavukile Vilane.
The founders who've pitched today have done a great service to themselves in a very short time period, and I think they should be very proud.
I feel like my pitch went well. Obviously could have gone better. There's a specific little slide that I skipped by mistake, which was our go-to-market strategy. But overall, it went really well. And I got some great feedback from the judges as well.
So advice to the winners, perhaps incorporating some kind of a visual or video element of how it works, exactly what I think there's a demonstrative sort of aspect to it.
I feel hopeful for the future, and for us to have been able to get to the stage of the accelerator just says that we've got something really great going on for ourselves.
My hopes and aspirations for my venture is we've built everything pretty much ourselves so far. We've self-funded everything, so I think our next logical step is to get some support from a financial point of view. Advice that I'd offer to other entrepreneurs is that it's possible. So whatever it is, no matter how big it is, building an app isn't something that's easy. But I want just to say that it is possible. You just have to start and you have to just figure this stuff and the building blocks along the way.
And that's a wrap on this electrifying Johannesburg episode of the Do Hard Things Challenge. A huge congratulations to Whatsnxt for taking bold ideas to new heights and earning their well-deserved trip to Mauritius. But the journey doesn't stop here. This is just one city story in a continent bursting with potential. Which city will rise to the challenge next? Stay tuned to find out, because innovation doesn't wait, and neither should you.